Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. Wow, what an amazing response. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited to be here listening to talking to you all today. It's just awesome. Can I just check that everybody can hear me okay, and that you if you could just give me a show of hands that you can hear me okay and you can see the screen, that would be fantastic. Thank you, Charlotte. Charlotte says she can hear me. Jane said she's okay. Great. Thanks, Lisa. Great. Awesome. Okay, so this has been a long time coming, and I'm really excited to say that, you know, after years and years and years of working with you all through Facebook and questions, I feel like you're all part of this big MTHFR family. And I've been getting really frustrated because there's only so many people that I could help in one hit. And I see people in clinic, but I get emails every single day saying, please, can you help me? Please, can you help me? I need to see you. And then I suddenly thought, there's got to be a better way, because there's so many of you that think the same way that I do, in that we're in this together. And one of the things that I think we're being let down on is really everything is too myopic. And when we see doctors and we see specialists, what are we actually doing? If you've got a sore back, you go to a back specialist. But are they actually looking at the totality of your symptoms and saying, well, okay, maybe it might be gluten? Because a lot of people that eat gluten actually have a problem with, gluten, and that can actually give them a lower back problem. So we're missing the big picture. So my mission over the next couple of years is going to be to create an MTHFR and methylation community where you are going to be empowered to actually look after your own health. And I say that in the nicest possible way, because let's face it, you're the one that's invested. You've invested time, you've invested money, you've invested effort. And a lot of you, from what I'm hearing, are not getting where you want to go. And you see, even Natasha's saying, look, she's seen multiple doctors and everyone's saying it's not within their practice or principles to investigate. So, and a lot of them don't know. So if I can teach you what we need, or what you need and your family to actually be healthy, to understand methylation from a basic level, what it does and why it's important, and how you can work out what is wrong with you, then you can go to your practitioner, you can go to your doctor, you can go to your whatever health provider you go to and say, I know that there is a problem with X, Y, and Z, and what I need from you is this. And I don't think that's a far-fetched philosophy to have, because part of the problem, and you know, with everything that's going on in the internet, we've now got so much knowledge to the point where we have too much and it gets overwhelming. And so I want to cut through all this clutter with you, and I really want to empower you to know, no, that's not right, or yes, I think I'm on the right track here. And so if we can create this wider community of people who are like-minded, that support each other, that have the information and work as a group through health issues, I think that's a really exciting place to be. So what we've done is we've created a portal whereby you as members can have a huge access, not only to all the webinars that I've done in the past, but all the Facebook groups. And I'll show you in a sec the portal, but I'll just go through some of these slides to start. And obviously you're going to get a variety of options in terms of what suits you, whether you want a free membership or you want to be in the membership group, which is actually going to be working through Facebook groups where for example, our first month is histamine. As you know, we're going to be working in April through the histamine, very complex, I guess, topic of histamine. And so many of you have histamine issues, not because you necessarily have genetics, but because you have other factors that are actually affecting your histamine breakdown. And it's usually the first place I start with my patients, because I would say that 80% plus of my patients have this problem. So we're, as a group, in the membership group, we're actually going to address histamine. You're going to work out, A, if you have a histamine problem. If you do, how do you address it? A, from a dietary perspective, B, from a supplement point of view. And I'm actually going to give you a link to order your own stool test so that you can go through, we'll go through it as a group, how to work out if there is something in your gut that is causing an elevation in histamine. And if there is, how do you address it? And we're going to do that right through the year on a variety of different topics. So we're going to do oxalates, and then we're going to do organic acids, so that you can understand what's going on with your biochemistry, what's going on with your bloods. And in a way, it's going to be a group appointment so that we work together. Now, as I said before, I think the biggest problem that we have is that everything that we do from a medical standpoint is niche. And I know from working with many of you over the last couple of years, we're just not getting the big picture. You know, you have so much information on the net, and everyone goes into this niche, but they're not stepping back and looking at the overall picture and going, well, okay, I might have some genetics that are affecting me, but what's actually affecting me in my environment? You know, am I living in an area that is making me toxic? Have I got such a bad gut that it's raising my histamine levels or affecting my oxalate breakdown, which is actually affecting my health? And at the end of the day, it's your biochemistry you've got to be working with. I can give you all the philosophy, but unless you're actually looking at the piece of paper that says, okay, your bloods are skewed or your organic acids is skewed, you're not going to know how this is actually working. So I've approached my providers for stool tests and organic acids tests, and I've said to them, I'm going to have a working group that I want to be able to allow them open access to a stool test. The referral will come through me, but we're going to work as a group. So that if you don't have a practitioner, I know many of you don't, then you'll be able to do this as if you are seeing me on a one-on-one consult. And I think that's really exciting, because then you'll learn from some of the others on what nuances are going to work for you and what aren't. So we're going to be working together, and I want this group to be like-minded people. And I get that some of you won't like this. But those of you that do, and for those of you that go, yeah, this is exactly what I want, then I think this is going to be a great support for so many different people. So I might at this point exit the presentation just so I can show you some of the links on the site. So essentially this is the portal. And so when you log in, you will actually have a whole array of categories that you can log into. So, for example, you can go in to learn about the basics about MTHFR, and you'll have all these videos that are part of our portal that you can access for free. At any time that you want to have a look at these that you might not have seen before, that are very relevant. So we've got, information on migraines and energy and pain and introduction to the world of MTHFR. We've got dedicated histamine webinars that you can listen to. We've got lists of supplements and videos on how to start supplementing and what sort of products, how to choose the right folate, a video on why folic acid isn't the best option, how to antidote an MTHFR. We've got so many resources here for you. Gut information, SIBO presentations, digestive enzymes. We've got interviews with top professionals in their field and some of you may have listened to these already, and we'll be adding to this as time goes on. So I've just done one on transfer factors, so I know a lot of you are really interested in that. So this week it'll be loaded up to that site. Now, if we go back to the dashboard, so here's all the videos, and when you come down the bottom, you get then links to the PDFs. So these PDFs are, again, resources, articles that I've written, journals that you can take to your doctors that talk about MTHFR, folic acid versus 5-MTHF. This is an article that I wrote a few years ago that a lot of people have taken to their doctors and said, look, this is important. Food sources of folate, histamine breakdowns, and this is what we're going to be adding to every single month. We then go into members calendar. Now, as a member, as a part of this membership group, you will see varying different events that will be happening. And when you click on these, they will be automatically put into your calendar so you don't forget them. And we're going to add to this every single month. There'll be open Facebook groups, which means if you are just a free member, you'll get access to that. But if you're a gold member, this is the private Facebook that we are going to be working with as a group throughout the year. So we're going to have Q&As, we're going to have case studies, we're going to go through all the resources for every month, and we're going to basically be working as a team. So if I go back to our presentation, so let me just put that up here. Okay, so here are some of the screens that you're going to be seeing. You're going to have a dashboard. You've got the tiles where you can log into your videos. You've got your PDFs and your membership calendar. And really importantly, you can submit a case study. So every month, I'm going to invite the members to submit their case. And I'm going to pick one case that I'm going to go through in an hour's presentation with that person, and we're going to actually show you how I work through working out what's important in a particular case and what sort of strategies that I would take as a practitioner in helping to sort this person out. And then I will send a review to that patient, giving them basically an outline of how we do it. And we're going to do that every month for whatever case we're looking at. So if this month it's going to be a histamine problem, next month it'll be an oxalate problem. So we'll work through these and you'll have an opportunity to submit that. So that's exciting. So basically the way that we've set it out is that you can have free access to the centre. All you need to do is give us your name and email address. And you can then get access to a variety of different resources. Or you can say, look, I just want to try it for a month. And you get 1 month where you get to try it. And you can log in. You may not have full access to everything, but you certainly have a lot of access to many things. Or you can say, yep, I actually want to be part of this membership group. I want to continue and go through this with you for the next year because I think I can see value in it. Now, we also have, for the next 24 hours, a special offer. So if you say, yep, I really want to be part of this gold membership group and I want to work with Carolyn for the next year, you can actually book a year in advance and it saves you 2 months worth. So essentially you're getting 20% off, which is pretty good. You pay for 10 and you get 2 free. Now, with the free resource, so it's easy, as I said, the only thing you need to give us is your first name and your email. You will then get access to the open Facebook group. So that means that every couple of weeks, you'll still get access to Facebook, but we won't be going through the stuff that we go through as our membership group. So we will answer your Q&As. It'll be a general Q&A, which is exactly what I've done for the last couple of years. So you get free access to the portal. You can see things. You may not get access to everything. You definitely get resources. You get various different webinars. diets and recipes, and invitation, as I said, to attend the free Facebook group. You get access to interviews from around the world, and you get our monthly newsletter. If you decide to do the 1 month trial, then you've got more videos than you have with the free access. You've got access to the full library of all our Facebook sessions that we've done for the past 2 years, and there's a wealth of information in those. You get our monthly newsletter, and you also get a recording of the very first case study for histamine that we're going to do this month. But you can only do it for a month, and after the month, you need to decide, do you opt out or do you actually go to the membership? And that choice is yours. Now, for the full membership, this is our MTHFR community. These are the people who go, this is what I want to be part of this, I want to know more, and I want to be able to help myself. You get all the resources, you get everything. You get access to the private members-only Facebook group, which is our working group. And every week we are going to meet and we were going to cover a different aspect, and I'll show you what it looks like for April. So, and then you'll get our monthly newsletter and you'll get access to that members calendar that I showed you before. So each month in that members group, we're going to do a Q&A session where you can ask me specific questions about you. We're not going to do that in the open Facebook group. That's just going to be generic. But if you have specific issues that you have that you need to have answered, I will be there to answer questions for anyone that wants to log in. We'll also have the group once a month. We're going to actually work as a group, as I said. For histamine, we'll be working through our stool test, and I'm going to give you the link to order it. I'm then going to do a full analysis, maybe an hour and a half, on how you actually analyze your stool test so you know what is going on with your gut. We're then going to work through our solutions book. So every month on every topic, I'm going to give you a solutions book. So this month for histamine, it's going to be, what should your diet be? What food should you avoid? What food should you eat? How long should you do it for? What sort of reactions you might see? And what sort of supplements should you be considering at what dose? And then any extra information you might need. And you'll also get a recording on that topic. So for this month, those of you who want to do the trial month, you'll actually have the histamine recording in there to listen. So April looks like this. First week of April, you're going to get the link to purchase your stool test, and it'll take approximately 3 weeks, and that will be a discounted price. The next week, we're going to work through the resources. It's a 30-page document which gives you everything that you need on histamine. We're going to follow that up the week after with a Q&A, so that's when you jump in and you can ask me anything you like about anything, and it can be the resources, it can be the stool test, it can be anything. And then I'm going to invite you, anyone who's a member that signs up within the next 24 hours, I'm going to say to you, you can submit a case. And at the bottom of your login, you'll actually have an opportunity to do that. And then in the last week, we're actually going to review the stool test results that everybody has. And I'm going to take you through how to interpret it so that you can work out what supplements, what probiotics, what you have to do to fix your gut, because from a histamine perspective, that is the first step. So essentially, we're working together as a team, as an MTHFR community, and I'm going to teach you through the year everything that you need to know. Now, sometimes we might be talking about various SNPs and what's the difference between this SNP and that. Sometimes we're just going to focus on more of the stuff. I'm not going to overwhelm you with biochemistry. I'm going to keep it simple and I'm going to keep it relevant. So this month, many of you, well, all of you actually, have already got your histamine. You got this sheet, which was your free sheet for logging in and joining today's webinar. So we're actually going to go through this, and I'm going to explain what it means to you in that first session. But essentially, you can see the huge impact that histamine has on so many different parts of the body. We've also got a whole lot of handouts for you. What is histamine? Histamine and your genes, so the genes that affect histamine breakdown. As I said, we've got the 30-page document, which is your solutions book. You're going to get in the next few days, April 1, you're going to get this quiz to help you sort out whether or not you think you have a histamine problem. And the quiz will say, yes, you do, or no, you don't. So what you need to decide in the next, you've got 24 hours, is what level of membership do you think suits you? If you don't need any assistance really, and you're happy just to, get in some of the resources and look at a few webinars, then either the month trial or the free access is really what you want. But if you want to be part of this working group, and if you want to work with someone that, I guess what it is it's a big consult. That's the best way I can put it. It's a big consult where you've got support from not only me, but from the people within the group. Because I think many of you have had so many horrible and good experiences that what you say to the group and the support you can give, I think is invaluable. And I've seen this from our open Facebook group, but I really want to create a team that is going to be supportive and that is really interested in what we're doing. I don't want people to be part of this that are cynical and think that, we're just all in it for the wrong reasons. I really want people that are, I guess, the people that listen to me regularly every single week on Facebook, that are so in tune with what they want and how they want it, that we're going to work together. And I think they're the people that I want part of this. So here's the launch offer. And so essentially, as I said, you can get 10 months for, you get 2 months off basically. So you get the 12 months and you only pay for the 10 months. Now, I'm hoping that link is in there, but what I'm actually going to do is show you. So you'll have a countdown, and I'm actually going to put it back into the, I'm just going to copy and paste that into the chat because Emma said she couldn't see it. So I'm hoping that you can see it, and hopefully there you can click on it. So all you need to do is decide. You've got literally 23 hours, 36 minutes and 43 seconds to decide which way you want to go. And there's a whole lot of information in there once you do decide. So I hope you appreciate what we're trying to do. And I'm actually really excited because this has been, it has been a long time coming, and it's the best way that I can think of to actually help as many people as possible. And I think you're all awesome. Seriously, I think some of you have been through the most amazing experiences that I think you'll be such fantastic members of this, that not only will you teach me things, but I think you can teach a lot of the others as well. And for that, I'm very grateful to have such amazing community that I already talked to. So I'm going to open up to questions now. If you have a question, put it into the box, and we'll just spend a few minutes answering anything that you need to know. Natasha, she needs help. She's tried several doctors, as I said, and so you know what, Natasha, you're perfect for this group because you are so like so many others that there's too much information and you're not getting the support from the practitioners you need. So you need information, and that's what this is about. And I think also understanding how MTHFR affects you all is part of what we're doing. And 90% of you will get knocked back from medical practitioners saying it doesn't matter. But I can absolutely tell you it does. And that's what I want to share with you. My experience with the patients that I've been working with over the last 10 years, I can tell you it does. And certainly from a fertility point of view, from a mood point of view, absolutely it matters. And we're going to be going through anxiety, depression. I know that that's a huge huge aspect of MTHFR. Absolutely huge aspect. And, other than 80% presenting with histamine, the next thing they present with is anxiety and depression. And one of the things is histamine is actually a neurotransmitter. So it is affecting your brain chemicals. Some of the questions that are coming in is it Australian dollars or US dollars? This is US dollars, right? So this is a US dollar price. And in actual fact, what I will show you is when you click into this, I've lost it. If you click into this now, I just need to close that box. If you go to this, for example, and you say, yep, I want to do this, you'll actually see. So here is what the gold membership normally is, and you'll see there that it says US dollars. And so you will have that discount for the next 23 odd hours. So thank you for asking that question. That's a really good question. Okay, so some of the other questions. I don't have notes on this, but you can hear a replay if you want it. Anne-Marie is saying, my son Blake is doing okay on your methyl B12 and hydroxy. Is this all he needs to be on now? Okay, so that's a great question. And when you can actually access in the free membership, Anne-Marie, how to start supplementing if you have the MTHFR gene. And that's going to answer some of your questions. So this is, Monica, this is aimed at the general public because you are a practitioner, and in the next week to 10 days, we're launching our practitioner portal, which is going to be similar, but we're going to gear it more towards you guys. Jane is asking, is this membership something I would join if I have started to see one of your practitioners? Absolutely, because although you are working with a practitioner, and I gather that many of you do, you need to know the nuances. I like to give the reasons behind, and not all practitioners do. And so I'll give you the reasons why, and I actually think that that's really important because from a compliance point of view, it makes it easier for you to stick to something. And so you're going to get 100,000 times more information that you will in 1 hour seeing a practitioner one-on-one, whether it's mine, whether it's, your naturopath down the road or a nutritionist or a doctor. You need the ancillary information so that you can go to that practitioner and you can say, well, actually, I've done this and I know that I have a problem with this because I'm working with Carolyn and we've been working through this and this is what we're doing. Lidwina, why is it called MTHFR? Methylene tetrahydrofolate reductase is the gene that affects the way that you metabolize folate. So if you get that free membership, you'll actually be able to access all of that information. What is MTHFR? Have a listen to it. Carol says she didn't get a histamine sheet when she signed up. Okay, then let's make sure, Carol, that you do get that. If you send an email to info@mthfrgenesupport.com, say you didn't get it, then we will make sure you get it ASAP today. Diane is saying, I've done almost every test under the sun, organic acids, comprehensive stool, heavy metals. Would I need to redo these or use my current results? You can use your current results, absolutely. Yes, perfect. You've done a great Plains Doctor's Data Bioscreen, perfect. So yes, if anyone has tests that are let's say 6 months, then you can absolutely use that. So, and you're also saying that you're seeing a doctor, and while she's amazing, I can't afford to keep seeing her all the time. So, and I think this is very relevant, and this is one of the reasons, one of my biggest frustrations in life is I can't see everybody, and I get the most amazing emails pleading with people, pleading me to see them or their son or their daughter. And I would love to, but I only have so many hours in the day. So I think my focus over the next few years is just going to be doing this sort of thing. I'll still keep my one-on-ones because I have a long group of, existing patients that I've been seeing for many, many years. But this is where I feel my heart is. It's where I feel I can do the most, because there's too many of you that don't have the right support. And I really think that that's what I want to do. I'm so excited to teach you as much as you want to know, because that's how you get better. That's how you understand what on earth is going on. So the set time for the live sessions are actually going to be this time on a Wednesday. So yes, it will always be 12 o'clock. If you miss it, don't worry, because we will send you a recording as soon as it's done. So if for some reason you can't make this time, don't worry, you'll have a recording. And if there's something that you're burning to know that you have to ask a question about, you just email it through and we'll make sure that you get an answer, or you pop it onto the Facebook and then we'll make sure we'll get an answer for you. Kate's saying, I'm fairly new to the site, but found it fascinating and wonder if you can let me know if you look at other genes. Absolutely. We look at all the genes within the methylation cycle. And so over the year, I'm going to be teaching you about various genes. And so Faye is asking about the ACE genes. So ACE genes are really interesting. And for my prackies on site, you'll know that we've already done an ACE webinar. But ACE is a gene that not only affects blood pressure, but has a huge effect on mental health. And so these are some of the genes. So I will be doing podcasts through the year where I will teach you a bit about some of the genes that I think are relevant. So we might do COMT, we might do ACE. I'm also going to take you through the liver, so that for those of you that are interested in the genetic side of it and the SNP side, you're going to have more information. Now, Kirsten, I put the link to the sign up in the chat box. Can you see that? Let me know if you can't see it. Does this replace our one-on-ones? Okay, so as we said, I'm going to leave that up to you. If you feel that this is the information you want and you can work on your own and this is the way that you want to do it, absolutely you don't need an appointment. This is your journey. It's your chance to basically do whatever you want. I'm not going to dictate one way or another. If you feel like you want an appointment in between what you're doing, go for it. If you feel that this information is where you want to be and it's working for you, because I get a lot of people saying, I've read your information on supplementation and how to do it, and I seem to be doing fine. Is there anything else I need to do? Well, maybe not. So if you're getting what you need and it's answering your questions, no, you don't need an appointment. Okay, so Esther is a practitioner. So Esther, what I want you to do is email info@mthfrgenesupport.com. Tell them you're a practitioner, so you're going to get invited to the practitioner portal. Does a mutation in the MTHFR gene have an effect on glaucoma? To a certain degree, it does, because it's affecting and folate, particularly folinic acid, has a huge, and in fact, there's a lot of research going on in Europe with folinic acid and glaucoma. So yes, and there is an amazing man that I connect with in Europe who is actually doing that research. So these are the sort of questions that in the portal on the Facebook group, if you want to know more information, I'll get it to you. And we can actually, I love researching and I spend so much of my time. So it's brilliant that you're going to ask questions like that, because I can just go, yep, I've got some information here. Here's the link. And I can post up all sorts of research papers that I've already got. Pamela is asking public or practitioners. It is public, but Pamela, email info@mthfrgenesupport.com. Say you're a practitioner and you will get invited to the practitioner portal. Deirdre, I have only one of the genes and have been under a naturopath, but the methyl active has not changed my homocysteine levels. I am now on 2 tablets daily. Will this help? Okay, so this is definitely one of the things that will be addressed, and you'll actually have access to that in the portal, because I've done a lot of Facebook group sessions on homocysteine and where it needs to be and the supplements that we will reduce it. So this is exactly the information, Deirdre, that you're going to get, and what sort of dosages that you need. You probably need some other. If your homocysteine isn't moving, then you're not taking the right amount and possibly not the right supplement. Dale Bredson on APOE4. Yes, I am. And APOE4 is a really interesting gene, but you can't look at it in isolation. It needs to be looked at with a combination of genes. So these are the other things that I want to teach you. There are combinations of genes that matter, and there are genes that in isolation don't matter. And so I want you to be able to put these genetics into perspective and not panic when you see APOE4, because unless you've got some of the other genes like the BDNF, the brain-derived neurotropic factor, it doesn't matter so much. And there's a lot of things that you can do to prevent any potential neurological depletion as you age. Kate, the stool test cost, I'm still waiting for the guys to give me that final cost. You will get an email very early next week to let you know. But I don't know the exact cost because I'm just waiting for my supplier to tell me. And it'll probably depend on how many people are going to do it. So as soon as I know, I'll give them that information and then you will get an email. If you are negative for the 2-methylation genes, but you also have a lot of the symptoms and you have a low pyrrole. Okay, so low pyrrole, you have a low pyrrole. Hang on, the rest of that sentence is cut out. Sorry, Anne, I don't know what that question is. Great question from Natasha. She's been on metformin. She was a zombie on all of them. What sort of things can I heal my liver? Okay, so liver is such an important topic. We are going to spend a whole month on liver function. And because I think when most medical practitioners look at liver enzyme results, they're not seeing the real functional medicine. They're not seeing the right levels. So what I want to really show you is how to work it out from your blood tests. How do you look at a blood test and know if it's good or not? Because quite frankly, from a functional medicine perspective, I think a lot is being missed. Do you have practitioners in the USA, specifically LA? No, we don't, Susan, but we do Skype appointments all over the world. So we actually do have a lot of we have a lot of patients that we deal with in the US. I do not see links to sign in. Okay, Marina, did you get the link in the chat box? Did you see that? Suri is asking, how do I locate an MTHFR practitioner? Okay, so you can go on our site, mthfrsupport.com.au, and there's a list of practitioners on our site. Anne is asking about menses. Does pyrrole affect menses? Yes, because pyroluria essentially means you've got a low B6 and zinc. And B6 is probably one of the most important nutrients for hormone synthesis. So is zinc. So yes, it does. All right, Kate didn't get the histamine sheet either. All right, so Kate, email info@mthfrgenesupport.com and say to Alison you didn't get it, and she will send it straight to you. Linda says, I feel sometimes I'm unwell too. Not sure if I will able to work through the material on a regular basis. That's okay. Do you know, everything, Linda, is going to be recorded. So you can do it at your own pace. Everything will have a link that you can just catch up on it. So it doesn't matter, and you can stop it and start it. You can listen to it in 15-minute bursts. That doesn't matter. And Lisa's saying it'll be beneficial to be a participant without the test, and that's absolutely fine. And that's why we're putting the testing as additional, because if you've already got tests or you don't need tests, then you don't have to have the tests. Lidwina is asking, how Australian will this be? Australian resources and tests, or all USA? So you'll get both. So from a testing perspective and a blood test analysis, you will get references that apply to international units and Australian units. From a stool analysis and an organic test, an organic analysis and an estrogen metabolism and all the other tests, it doesn't matter. They are exactly the same. We read it the same. It's only the blood tests, and you will have dual reference ranges for those. Jessica is saying she has MTHFR A1298C heterozygous. I continually get told that this would minimally affect my health for infertility. From what I have learned from you, I feel this is not the case. So I guess from an MTHFR perspective, they are right in that this is the one that affects us least. But remember, MTHFR is a bit of a big picture. And there are so many other genes that work with MTHFR. So these are the things that we're going to be talking about. And particularly from a fertility standpoint, Jessica, I also want you to email info@mthfrgenesupport.com. And I want you to put yourself down for our fertility portal as well, because we will be launching a dedicated fertility, because that is unique to MTHFR. And for those of you that need that added support, we will have that portal open soon too. Colette is I'm from the UK but live in Australia. When I found out I had MTHFR, I did inform my family without trying to scare them. I left it to them to research. I'm worried about my sister. So that's actually a big part of this. And, you know, a lot of people don't want to know because they're scared of what it means. And I think this is part of what we're trying to do, is actually show people that knowledge is power. Knowledge is your ability to be able to assess the information and go, yeah, I know what I need to do. I know what this means for my children. I know that this is not a big deal and I can actually do something about it. And if I thought that you couldn't do something about it, I wouldn't be doing this. So it is something that I think is really important to understand, that none of this information you're going to get over the next year means you can't do something about it. And so that's what we want to do. We want to improve everybody's health. So I think it's really important that we do this. Now, some of you are saying that you still can't see the link. Maureen's asking, why is it in US dollars? Because it's actually a US site. So this is our US site, and the reason we're doing it on a US site is because we have the Australian site is so full to capacity, and we are trying to expand our reach in the US, and it's a much better, a much stronger portal to hold this membership platform, because we have got so much information. We had to build something that was just awesome to hold all this. Okay. Is the gold membership for an individual or a family? Well, as an individual, you would sign up, but you get resources. So I'm not sure what you mean as a family, Damien. It's going to benefit your family. I wouldn't see why you would want to have multiple sign-ups for the same information. But if you mean, like, if your sister or brother want to be part of this membership group, yes, they would need to sign up. So you can have one address per entry, I guess. Yeah, so all the tests that we're suggesting will be in the US and in Australia, so you actually have separate links if you're international versus Australia, so you'll be able to order them accordingly. Elsa, now we've got about 10 minutes left. I know that there's a lot of questions here, and I'll endeavour to get through them all. Is it likely that all or some of my children have MTHFR? It depends on you and their father's genetics. So randomly, your children will get one of yours and one of your partners. So if you have 2 copies and your husband has 1, there's a high likelihood that they're going to have MTHFR. If you have 1 and he has 1, then there's also about a 25% chance they're going to do it. So they get it. So it's going to depend on the genetics. And I do have, inside the portal, I actually do have what is MTHFR. That's one of the free access webinars. You'll actually be able to, I do explain that. What are histamine symptoms, please? Okay, so for signing up to this portal, you actually got that sheet that shows you what the histamine reactions are. And if you have severe mosquito reactions, that is a histamine reaction, absolutely. Carolyn, are working with Lyme literate doctors in Australia? If so, who? Yeah, well, that's actually getting harder and harder, Catherine, because a lot of them are being sideswiped by the medical fraternity and are being told that they are no longer enabled. They're no longer able to deal with Lyme because Lyme doesn't exist in Australia. So we might have to go offline to answer that question. But again, send an email and we'll definitely try and help you out. Will the stool test be biased if I am taking a pile of supplements for gut? Yes. So some of the things, and this is what we'll put in our email when you do it, if you want to do the stool test, you can't be taking antibiotics and you've got to have at least 10 days off any probiotics and prebiotics. That's pretty much the most important thing, but we will send you a list of what you can and can't be taking at the time. But the antibiotics and the prebiotics are the most important. Sue, I just have to say, I think what you're doing is fantastic with one reservation. Why are we paying in US dollars when we're from Australia? Because, Sue, Australians are not just the ones that are going to be joining this portal. And this is part of the reason why I've set the portal up in US, because we have over 15,000 current members and a huge proportion are outside Australia. I know that we have a huge membership following here in Australia, but we have 15,000 members and over half of them are international. So that's why it's in US dollars. And you'll see from a lot of the other membership sites that we do really work in US dollars now, a lot of it. Hate to say it, but we do. But don't let it upset you. If this is something that you're going to decide, if you don't want to do the full membership and you think that $29.95 is outside the realm of what you can afford, then don't do it. And I mean that in the nicest possible way, because you can only do what you can afford to do. But if you think that, like seeing a practitioner can cost you $297 for one appointment and you're getting a whole year's worth of stuff, I think that's pretty good value. Can practitioners join the annual package and use it towards their education? So this is not the practitioner site. So when you are on the practitioner only site and send your email to say you are a practitioner, Lisa, yes, you will be able to use it for CPE points. Okay. Bridget, you've asked questions about your antihistamine, and that's a really good, valid question. But this is what we're working with for the month of April. So antihistamines are not necessarily going to be your right choice because it's reducing the DAO activity in the gut. And this is what I'm going to be talking to you about. Now, Emma, if you are still online, could you please put that maybe in the handout section? Could you put the link to the portal again, because people are saying they still can't see it. Casey, go into the sign up for the free section, listen to what is MTHFR, and you'll be able to see the illnesses that are related to the MTHFR gene. Do we have, Julie's asking the interaction between celiac and MTHFR? Yes. So there is a webinar in the silver membership, the 1 month, the $9.95, where you can actually see we talk about gluten and MTHFR. Okay, so Lisa's saying she wants to specialize. So Lisa's obviously a practitioner. So make sure you join our practitioner link. And a naturopath, yes. Trina, you are classified as a practitioner, so make sure you send your information so you get an invitation to the practitioner portal. Because I think it's fair that we separate the group, because from a practitioner point of view, you're going to learn different things. And I don't want necessarily other practitioners giving advice to our membership group in this nature. I really think we need to keep this separate, and I know you're going to have different questions and you're going to have different thoughts, and at the end of the day, I want to be the practitioner that's working with my group. And yes, Susie's an integrative health coach. Absolutely, you classify as a practitioner. Carolyn, do you actually have an MTHFR gene mutation? Just wondering. No, I don't, Daniela, but I have so many of the other genes surrounding it that have affected me for so long that I think this is why it's so interesting. And yeah, isn't it funny? I actually don't have the MTHFR gene. My daughter does, my husband does, so it is definitely of interest to me. But it's the other genes around this that has really affected me for so long. And now that I know and I work around it and I know what's going on, I just feel so much more comfortable about, because I've had gut problems my whole life. And finally, I feel like I know what I need to do and where I've gone wrong and why. And it's essentially in my genetics. And so I know now what's important and what's not. And this is what I want you to understand, because you're going to have certain genetics that are a problem and others are going to have certain genetics. So it's putting it in perspective. Sheila's saying she's about to sign up for a new house. Congratulations. I have MTHFR and a copper reading of 26, risen in 6 months from 20. I'm already taking supplements. Can something from seagrass, macroalga, and black mud at low tide carry harmful bacteria? Potentially. I would be really looking at your water. Yeah, I'd be looking at your water supply in the house and getting assessment for that. And we'll actually be talking about toxicity, and I'll have Nicole Bilgemer on, and we're going to be talking about how to evaluate your house. It's going to be a whole session. She is awesome. I'll post up a video that we've done before with Nicole. Awesome topic, but I think you definitely need to do a water assessment. Okay. So Maureen, the cost you see up on the screen is US. What else can I answer quickly? Okay. Kate's signing up. Awesome. Thanks, Kate. I'm so excited to have you on the portal. I'm so excited. Let me know if you signed up, because I really want to know who signed up, and I just can't wait to get started. Dirty Jeans book. Kara's saying, I see in the resources section. Yeah, so I actually I actually spoke to Ben about his book and I said I would help him promote it. Where for any practitioners, when you sign up for the summit, you actually get the Dirty Genes book free. And we're going to be having an anxiety and depression webinar, face-to-face. And Ben Lynch is going to be speaking via live webinar, and we've also got other specialists on ketogenic diet. So I'm going to be letting you all know about that in the next couple of weeks. So absolutely, and you will get a copy of the Dirty Genes book when you come to that summit. Okay, what else? There's so many good questions that I'm not going to have a chance to I didn't get a sheet. So anyone that didn't get a sheet, send an email, info@mthfrgenesupport.com, and we are definitely going to get you that today. And Julie, oh, hi, Julie. You're in Singapore, I know. Fantastic to see you. Yes, Candice, info@mthfrgenesupport.com. Awesome. Okay, so fantastic. Final year student practitioners, definitely you classify as a practitioner. So you sign up for that. And Marina, we are going to be talking about your genetics. So 1 month, we're actually going to be showing you how to assess them and how to upload it into, we don't use the raw data. We go through another site, but you'll get all that information. Lisa's in, awesome. Natasha's signed up, fantastic. Maureen's signed up. I can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Deirdre signed up for the free membership, awesome. Diane, MTHFR vaccines and damage. We've got webinars for you in the gold membership. You can see my webinar on that, and you can actually see in the 1 month sign up, you can actually get the interview I did with an amazing doctor in the US about this. If I sign up for the 1 month, will the 12-month offer still be available? No, it won't. It's only available for the next 23 hours, but you can upgrade at any time. But if you think you want to do it for a year, then absolutely I would do it within the next 23 hours. Suzanne's become a member, absolutely. Prackies, just email info@mthfrgenesupport.com. Tell them that you're a Prackie and you will get the link when we launch that link. We haven't launched that yet. Kate signed up for gold, and I think that's it, mainly. Fantastic. I didn't answer absolutely everything, but thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to getting started. You're going to get your first email on the 1st of April. So let's work together as a team and make this really work. And I can't thank you enough for being part of today. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.